Long ago, beside the glistening waters of the great river, there was a kingdom known for its beauty, wealth, and proud traditions. The people there lived in harmony with the river, which fed them with fish, watered their crops, and whispered ancient songs to those who listened. In this kingdom lived Princess Xena, the only daughter of the mighty King Kofi. Xena was as breathtaking as the moon in full light. Her skin glowed like polished ebony, her eyes sparkled like stars on a clear night, and her voice was as smooth as the river's lullaby. But though her beauty was praised far and wide, her heart had grown proud. She believed that no one was worthy of her unless they brought her something the kingdom had never seen. She sat on her golden throne day after day, turning away suitors from across many lands. "Bring me something no one else has," she would say, her chin lifted, her eyes sharp. "Only then will I consider your offer." Warriors brought swords forged in sacred fire. Princes came with silks from faraway deserts. Merchants brought pearls, gems, and perfumes that filled the palace air for days. Yet each one left with their head bowed, rejected. The people began to whisper, "Will no one ever be good enough for the princess?" they asked. Some said her pride would be her downfall. Others said she was waiting for someone truly wise. Then one morning, just as the mist rose from the great river, a young fisherman named Jumo tied his canoe to the dock near the palace. Jumo was not wealthy. He owned no fine clothes, no soldiers, and no gold. But his heart was steady and his spirit kind. In his hands, he carried a simple wooden gourd. It was smooth and carefully carved, with a design of waves and stars etched around its rim. Inside it held water, clear and cool, from the river's deepest place, where the current moved slow and the spirits were said to whisper. When Jumo approached the palace gates and told the guards he had come to see the princess, they laughed. "What do you bring her?" one asked, smirking. "A gourd of water," another jeered. "She will laugh you out of the court." But Jumo only smiled. "What I bring is not just water. It is a gift of truth." Intrigued by his calm manner, the guards let him through. Princess Xena sat high upon her throne when Jumo entered. The court fell silent as he bowed low and held out the gourd. "Your Highness," he said, "I bring you something no eye has truly seen, and no heart has fully understood." Xena raised an eyebrow. "Water. That is your great gift." "Yes," Jumo replied, unfazed. "But drink it, and you will see what lies beyond gold and silk." The court chuckled. Some scoff. But the princess, curious despite herself, stepped down from her throne. She took the gourd from his hands and raised it to her lips. The water was cool, but as soon as it touched her tongue, something changed. Suddenly, Xena's eyes widened. She gasped. She saw visions, flashes of life beyond the palace walls. A mother stirring a pot of stew in a small hut. Children laughing as they played in dusty streets. Fishermen like Jumo, casting their nets at dawn. A farmer's hands, rough with work, holding a newborn lamb. The river winding endlessly, feeding all who lived along its banks. Then she saw her kingdom's pain. Villagers walking miles for clean water, markets with too little food, eyes full of hope and hunger both. And finally she saw herself, draped in jewels, distant, alone. The visions faded. The gourd slipped from her hand and rolled onto the palace floor, spilling the last drops of river water. Silence. What magic was that?" she whispered. Jumo bowed his head. "It is no magic, princess. It is the truth, carried in water, seen by those willing to open their eyes." Xena looked at him, truly looked. He wore no crown, but there was something noble in his calm gaze. There was honesty in his voice, and strength in his simplicity. For the first time she felt her heart shift, not out of pity but out of respect. She had seen more in that moment than in all her years of royal life. "You have brought me something no one else ever has," she said softly. "You have shown me my people." The king and court watched in awe as Princess Xena took Jumo's hand. "And what is your name?" she asked. "Jumo, daughter of the river," he said. That very day, she invited Jumo to stay in the palace, not as a suitor but as a teacher. Over time they grew close. Jumo taught her about the river, the people, the simple joys of life. She, in turn, showed him how a kingdom could change with the right heart at its center. And not long after, under the golden sky, they were married. Not out of duty but out of choice. Together, they ruled the kingdom with open eyes and open hearts. Princess Xena became a queen unlike any before her. She walked through villages, listened to farmers, dined with fishermen. She rebuilt wells, opened schools, and honored the traditions of her ancestors. And beside her always was Jumo, the fisherman who brought her the gift of truth. As for the river, it sang louder than ever, its waters glimmering with joy. And to this day, elders say that if you dip your hand into its depths with a quiet heart, you might still see visions of the past, and the wisdom it carries.